Hello students, today we will be starting with the rotational motion. This is the second part. In first part we have already discussed radius of dilation, what is meant by moment of inertia, as well as moment of inertia's different formula also we have discussed, as well as rolling body, whenever the body is rolling, what type of motion has been involved, translational, rotational motion. Over there we have also derived the velocities formula as well. Today we will be starting with the theorem of parallel axis and perpendicular axis. These both theorems are very important as per board exams is concerned, because in all board papers there are basically state theorem of parallel axis or state theorem of perpendicular axis, as well as its derivation is also important. So we will see what is meant by theorem of parallel axis. Okay. Imagine any object has been given. Take for example, this is an arbitrary object which has been given, and we want to find moment of inertia across this axis. We want to find moment of inertia across this axis. Okay, this is a point O. So we are just drawing a straight line. What does theorem of parallel axis states is that we have to draw another line. We have to draw another line which is passing through the center of mass of the object. Center of mass means what? This whole body's weight is felt at a single point. This whole body's weight is felt at a single point, that is called as the center of mass. So we have to draw another line which is parallel to this line, from where we have to find moment of inertia. We have to draw a line parallel to this line from where we have to find moment of inertia. Okay, we have to draw a parallel line. Okay, and as this line is passing through center of mass, this moment of inertia is denoted by IC. As this line is passing through the center of mass, its moment of inertia is denoted by IC. And this is the axis around which we have to find moment of inertia. This point is denoted as O, and its moment of inertia is denoted as IO. Okay. So over here, the theorem of parallel axis states us that moment of inertia across this axis IO, from where we have to find out, is equals to moment of inertia of this parallel axis which is passing through the center of mass, plus mass of whole of this body, into distance square. Distance square means what? By what distance it is there, means distance between these two parallel axes. Okay, square. So I0 is what? Moment of inertia of the body about any axis passing through the center O. We can assume we can find moment of inertia across any axis over here. Okay, and IC is the moment of inertia of the body. Moment of inertia of the body about parallel axis passing through the center of mass. You might be knowing each and every body is having only one center of mass. So this is the center of mass. So whichever axis will be passing through this point, so moment of inertia whenever is taken to the center of mass, it is denoted as IC. So we will start. This is another object been given. Take for example, this is a rectangular object, and we are supposed to find moment of inertia across this axis. So what we'll be doing? We'll be drawing another parallel line which is passing through the center of mass of this whole body. Okay. So I0 means for moment of inertia across this axis, which is we want to find out, is equal to moment of inertia across IC, means this axis is passing through the center of mass, plus mass, what is the mass of this whole body, into distance square. Distance square means what? Distance between this axis from where we have to find out the moment of inertia, and this axis, from where the center of mass is passing. Okay. So this is a statement you should be knowing. The moment of inertia of the body about any axis is equal to sum of its moment of inertias about a parallel axis passing through its center. It is passing through the center of the mass, and product of the mass and the square of the perpendicular distance between the two parallel axes. This is a perpendicular distance. What is this called? This is a perpendicular distance. So what they are denoting? Product of mass and square of its perpendicular distance. H square, this is a perpendicular distance, so square of this perpendicular distance. So we are getting H square. So final formula is what? I0 is equal to IC plus mh square. Now we will see how we are getting this formula. Imagine this is a two axis this is a O from where the moment of inertia we want to find out, and this whole body's mass is felt at single point. This whole body's mass is felt at a single point. This is denoted by C. It is also called as center of mass. Now moment of inertia across this axis is denoted as IO, and moment of inertia across center of mass is denoted by IC. Okay, now let us read over here. We were considering that it is a rigid body of mass m. This whole body is a rigid body of mass m, which is rotating about the axis of O. This whole body is rotating about this axis O. Let C be the center of mass. C is the center of mass of the body, which is situated at a distance h. It is situated at a distance h from this O, okay, from the axis of rotation. We are considering very small element dm. We are considering very small element dm at a point P. Okay. For our construction, what we are doing, we are joining PO. We are joining PO as well as we are joining PC. We are joining PO as well as we are joining PC. Okay. Now moment of inertia due to the small element dm, moment of inertia due to the small element dm at this point O, is denoted by IO, and moment of inertia, which we have already studied the formula. Whenever the moment of inertia is formula for a continuous body, and as it is a continuous body, so moment of inertia's formula will be integration distance between this point up till the point where mass has been felt. So OP we are taking OP square dm. Okay, as we are finding moment of inertia across this axis, so it is denoted by integration OP square dm. If we want to find out moment of inertia across the center of mass, it is denoted by IC as it is center of mass, and the distance between this point to P is denoted by CP. So it is CP square dm. It is CP square dm. Why we are taking dm? Because this is a very small amount of mass which has been felt at a point P, which has been kept at a point P. Okay. Now we are considering this figure COP. We are considering this figure OPD. We are considering this triangle OPD. You will see in this triangle OPD, this is a right angle triangle. As this is a right angle triangle, what we will be doing? We will be using Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem means what? Hypotenuse square plus side square. Over here, hypotenuse is OP square. Hypotenuse is what? OP square is equals to OD square plus PD square. OP square is equals to OD square plus PD square. But OD, this full can be splitted into OC and CD. Again, I am telling OD, this full can be splitted as OC plus CD. That's what has been given. OC plus CD. Outside square is there. Plus PD square. This I have written as it is over here. This can be written as A plus B whole square, which you have already studied in schools. In 9th standard, A plus B whole square is equals to what? A square plus 2AB plus B square. Over here OC is A. OC क्या है? यहाँ पे A है. And CD is B. So A square means OC square plus 2AB. ये A है. So 2OC dot CD plus B square. B is what? CD. So we are writing CD square plus PD square. But you will look over here. Just 1 minute. If you look over here, this CD and DP, CD and DP, CD square and DP square can be represented as PC square. Are you able to understand? This CD square plus DP square can be represented as CP square. CP square. That's what has been done over here. In place of this two, we have just written CP. We have just written what? CP square. So I have written this over here, CP square. Now from equation 1, what we will be doing over here, first of all, we will be doing integrating as well as multiplying by the small mass element dm. ये पूरे इक्वेशन को इंटीग्रेट करेंगे as well as multiplying by small mass element dm. इंटीग्रेट किया है as well as multiplying. So we will be getting integration OC square plus OC dot CD plus CP square. यहाँ पे ब्रैकेट लिया है. As we have taken the brackets, what has happened? Integration has gone outside and dm has also gone this side. dm is over here and integration has gone outside. and we have already seen that OP, इसके previous slide we have already seen that IO can be represented as what? Integration OP square dm. IO can be represented as what? Integration OP square dm. So we have written that's what over here. IO is equals to integration OP square dm. OP was over here. OP यहाँ पे था. OP था यहाँ पे. Okay. OP square was there. So integration OP square dm, in place of this full, what we can write IO. We have written IO over here. IO is equals to integration OC square plus 2OC dot CD plus CP square dm. But if you look at this figure, what is OC denoting? What is OC denoting? Distance between perpendicular, or it is a perpendicular distance? Perpendicular distance between two parallel axes. So it can be written as h square. Again OC is there. So in place of OC also we can write h. CD, we have represented this as x. So we have written x. And CP क्या है यहाँ पे? We have written CP as it is. Now what we have done? We have taken out this brackets. ये bracket को निकाल लिया है. And we have multiplied this also by dm. हर एक term को dm से multiply किया है. dm यहाँ पे separate था. अभी dm को हर एक term से multiply किया है. So OC square dm की जगह क्या आ गया? h square. OC what we have written as h square dm. But over here you will see that h square is moving outside. h बाहर क्यों जा रहा है? Because h is independent. h doesn't changes. जो distance ही हमेशा constant रहेगा. So it is independent. So h is moving outside. Integration dm. We are writing integration dm as it is. Again 2h OC के जगह h लिया है. So 2h again h will not be changing. Integration x dm. x इधर आया, उसके बाद dm भी इधर आ गया. Integration sign. Okay, 2h integration x dm plus integration, again integration we have got integration cp square dm, integration cp square dm. But if you see in the previous slide, इसके पहले slide में देखेंगे integration cp square dm और moment of inertia which is passing through this axis is denoted by IC. इसको किससे डिनोट करते हैं? IC से. So what we have done? We have written in place of this full, what I have written? Only IC. सिर्फ क्या लिखा है? IC. So what we have got? I have just taken now IC at the starting. IO, moment of inertia along this axis, is equals to IC. I have taken this IC in the first. उसके बाद h square integration dm वैसे ही लिखा है plus 2h integration x dm. 2h integration x dm. I have taken this at the last. But integration dm, यहाँ पे हम लोग इंटीग्रेट क्यों करते? Why we do integration? Because we are considering small amount of mass. Because we are considering small amount of mass. But after integration, after doing integration, we are considering the whole mass. So integration dm का क्या हो जाता है? Capital M हो जाता है. So integration dm is capital M. So in this place we will be writing capital M. Then integration x dm is equal to 0. Integration x dm is equal to 0. Why is equal to 0? Just 1 minute. Integration dm is equal to 0. Why it is 0? Because what is this showing? Product of distance as well as mass. Product of distance as well as mass. See over here, product of distance as well as mass. We are considering this as well as mass. We are considering x into distance. But at the center of mass, we are considering at this point, each and every point thing will be at equilibrium. Each and everything will be at equilibrium. So algebraic sum of the moment of the masses, algebraic sum of all the moments of the masses of the particles about the center of mass is taken as 0. मतलब यहाँ पे center of mass में जो भी algebraic sum लेते हैं, whatever algebraic sum we take at the center of mass is always taken as 0. Because at the center of mass, body is at equilibrium. ये center of mass में क्या रहता है? Body equilibrium में रहता है. So as this is equal to 0, ये पूरा 0 हो गया है. ये पूरा term 0 हो गया, means this whole term will go away. Ultimately what we will be writing? I0 plus IC plus h square. And over here इसकी जगह क्या लिख सकते हैं? M. Now this is a final proof, what we want to do, that I0, moment of inertia of this axis from where we have to find, is equal to moment of inertia which is passing through the center of mass plus mass, ये पूरे का mass into perpendicular distance, ये दोनों के बीच का distance square. That is the proof. Done. Now we will be proceeding for theorem of perpendicular axis. See, whatever we have seen previously, parallel axis theorem, parallel axis we were able to apply in each and every body. It can be applied to each and every body, but perpendicular axis theorem cannot be applicable to each and every body. Okay, for application it should be only a plain sheet मतलब ऐसा plain sheet रहना चाहिए. Okay, plain sheet रहना चाहिए, as well as its thickness should be also equal to 0, मतलब एकदम पतला रहना चाहिए. Then only theorem of perpendicular axis is possible. अभी देखते हैं कैसे करके theorem of perpendicular axis we will be applying. Okay, now this is a plain sheet paper. This is a plain sheet paper. We are drawing a normal first of all, and whenever we are drawing a normal, we are denoting it as z-axis. Okay, now we have to draw another two axes which will be also perpendicular to each other. You can see this z-axis, y-axis are perpendicular to each other, as well as z-axis as well as x-axis are also perpendicular, as well as x and y are also perpendicular to each other. So three axes should be there. They should be perpendicular to each other. They should be perpendicular to each other. So what does this theorem states is that moment of inertia across this z-axis, moment of inertia across this z-axis is equal to moment of inertia across x-axis plus moment of inertia across y-axis. I will repeat. Moment of inertia across z-axis is equal to moment of inertia across x-axis plus moment of inertia across y-axis. We will be proving this as well. This is very easy one as compared to the previous one. Now we will first see the statement. The moment of inertia of a plane lamina about an axis, the moment of inertia of the plane lamina about an axis perpendicular to its plane is equal to the sum of the moment of inertias is equal to the sum of moment of inertia about two perpendicular axes, x and y, which we have seen previously, concurrent to with perpendicular axis and lying with the plane lamina. Mathematically, it is denoted by Iz is equals to Ix plus Iy, where Iz is equals to moment of inertia of the lamina about x-axis, Iy is equals to moment of inertia of the lamina about y-axis, and Iz is a moment of inertia of the lamina about z-axis. Let us start proving this theorem. Okay, consider a plane lamina. This is a plane lamina where which is of mass m, and its mass has been felt at this point P, and P's coordinate is x and y, and at point P there is a very small amount of mass kept that is denoted by dm. Okay, now what we will be doing, we are considering very small element. We are taking this radius vector. We are taking this radius vector OP. We are dropping perpendicular at y-axis. We are dropping perpendicular at y-axis. We are dropping perpendicular at y-axis, as well as we are dropping perpendicular at x-axis. Okay, we are dropping perpendicular at y-axis and we are dropping perpendicular at x-axis. Okay. Kindly see this diagram. This is a radius vector which we have drawn. We can name it OP. We are dropping a perpendicular at x-axis and we are dropping a perpendicular at y-axis as well. If this is x vector, if we are dropping this perpendicular at x-axis, if this is x, naturally this will be also x. Again we are dropping a perpendicular at y-axis. If this is y, this will be also y. If this is y, this is also y. Okay, now what we are doing, we are rotating this. We are just rotating this. We are rotating in this manner. Try to understand. We are dropping a perpendicular at y-axis, as well as we are dropping a perpendicular at x-axis. If this is y, then naturally this will be also y, as this is y-axis. Again, we are dropping a perpendicular at x-axis. If this is x, naturally this will be also x. Okay. Now, what we'll be doing? We are knowing the element dm is at a distance y from y-axis. This is a element dm. This is a element dm which is at a distance y, from x-axis. This is the x-axis. This is the x-axis. From this x-axis, how much distance is this element dm? It is y distance. Similarly, this y-axis is at a what distance from dm? That is x distance. Try to understand. This y-axis is at what distance from dm? That is x distance. Okay. So Iz is equals to integration y square dm. X is denoted by y square because this is y distance from dm. Similarly, y is denoted by x square as y-axis is at x distance from dm. So Ix is equals to integration y square dm and Iy is equals to integration x square dm. If we add both the equations, equation 1 and 2, then what we'll be getting? Ix plus Iy is equals to integration y square dm plus integration x square dm. If we add both of them, x square plus y square dm, if we use this if we use Pythagoras theorem, x square plus y square, x square plus y square, x square and y square, x and y are both the sides. Addition of both the sides will give you the hypotenuse square, that is r square. So x square plus y square is equal to r square. But r square dm, what is r square dm? It is the distance of z axis from this point mass dm. Are you able to understand? This r is what? This r is denoting the distance of z axis from this point mass. This r is denoting the distance of z axis from this point mass. So what we can write? Integration Iz is equals to integration r square dm. So over here theorem has been proved. In place of here, what we can write? Iz directly. Okay. So ultimately what we have done over here? First of all, we have done integration as well over here. If we do integration of whole of this, ये पूरे इक्वेशन को इंटीग्रेट करेंगे. हाँ, यहाँ पे over here what we are doing, we are just substituting x square plus y square as dm. यहाँ पे this full in place of x square plus y square, what we can write? Integration r square dm. But integration r square dm क्या है? Z है, Iz है. So in place of here what we can write? ये पूरे की जगह क्या लिख सकते हैं? Iz लिख सकते हैं. So over here our theorem has been proved, that is Iz is equal to Ix plus Iy. Now we have already seen parallel as well as perpendicular axis. Now what we'll be doing, we'll be applying this for finding the moment of inertia of different objects. There are some formulas which we have to learn. Now while learning, two things you have to keep it in your mind. Moment of inertia of which object we are considering, and if that object is there, then which axis we are considering, because it might happen that same object will have different moment of inertia around different axis of rotation. Okay, so first of all we'll be finding moment of inertia of the thin rod about an axis passing through its center. This is the axis which is passing through the center, as well as it is perpendicular to the plane. Okay, there are in this chapter many formulas you have to learn. There is no derivation in, as well as you will not be finding derivations anywhere. Okay, so this is the formula of moment of inertia. Whenever this rod, moment of inertia of the rod, and whenever this moment of inertia is passing through the center, this is what? This is a rod and moment of inertia is passing through its center. So moment of inertia's formula is what? ml square upon 12. Moment of inertia's formula is what? I is equals to ml square upon 12. Next one. Over here, see, previously also was a rod only, but over here what was happening? Moment of inertia we were finding through the center. Now moment of inertia we are finding through one of its end. Okay. So if this full length is L, ये पूरा length L है, तो ये वाला length क्या रहेगा? L by 2, and this length is also L by 2. we can use theorem of parallel axis as these two lines are parallel. As these two lines are parallel, as well as IC also we have got it from the previous one, that is ml square upon 12. ये फॉर्मूला हम लोग इसमें यूज करेंगे. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया I, मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया I फाइंड करना है, मतलब मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया I, ये पूरे को I लिया है. ओके, मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया I इज इक्वल्स टू IO. IO नहीं है, यहाँ पे IC है. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया I इज इक्वल्स टू IC प्लस mh स्क्वायर. IC का वैल्यू हमने ऑलरेडी फाइंड किया है, दैट इज ml स्क्वायर अपॉन 12. ml स्क्वायर अपॉन 12. mh स्क्वायर, h स्क्वायर क्या है? डिस्टेंस बिटवीन दिस टू लाइंस और परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस, यहां से यहां तक का डिस्टेंस कितना है? l/2. h क्या है? l/2. सो व्हाट वी आर राइटिंग? l/2 स्क्वायर. सो व्हाट इज इट बिकमिंग? l स्क्वायर अपॉन 4. ओवर हियर 12 and 14, 4 is there. If we do the LCM is 12 only. So whenever the LCM is 12, 4, how many times is 12? 4 3s are 12. So we are writing 3 over here, and 12 ones are 12. So we are writing 1 over here. So ml square plus 3 ml square. 1 plus 3 is what? 4. So what we are getting? 3 ml square upon 12. So it is ml square upon 3. Now we want to find out moment of inertia of a ring about an axis passing through its center. This is the axis which is passing through the center of a ring, and it is also perpendicular. So moment of inertia's formula is mr square, where m is a mass and r is a radius. Then moment of inertia of a circular disc. Previously was what? It was a sphere. It was a ring. Ring means what? It was slightly. It is ring. Okay. There is a hole in between ring, but it is a disc. Disc means what? It is a circular disc. As this is a circular disc, so moment of inertia about an axis passing through its center is denoted by half mr square, where m is a mass, r is a radius. Okay. Previously we have seen of a ring, it was mr square only. Now it is a disc. As it is a disc, it is half mr square. You have to learn all these formulas. If you see your textbook at the end of this chapter also, there is a big table been given. Whichever has been given, you have to learn, because this all formulas we will be using for while solving the numericals. Okay. Now we will start with angular momentum of a rotating body. First of all, for angular momentum, you should be knowing what is meant by angular momentum. First of all, we will start with the linear momentum. What is linear momentum? Linear momentum we have seen from Newton's second law. Linear momentum was denoted by P is equals to mass into velocity. Okay. But what does linear momentum actually tells us? It tells us amount of translational motion. Amount of translational motion is there in the body. Amount of translational motion. How much amount of translational motion is there in the body? And quantitatively it measures the linear momentum. Quantitatively, how much translational motion is there in the body? It has been measured with the help of this linear momentum. Okay. Similarly, in case of rotational motion, how much angular motion is there in the body? How much angular motion is there in the body has been measured with the help of angular momentum. How much angular motion is there in the body has been measured with the help of angular momentum. Let us start now. Angular momentum of a rotating body. For finding the angular momentum, what we'll be doing, we have already seen in the previous slide what is meant by angular momentum. Or angular momentum is radius vector into linear momentum, but over here cross product is there. Over here cross product is there means what? It is a vector quantity. Vector quantity means what? If we remove this cross product, then we'll be getting sine theta. Okay. Now we have to find out angular momentum of this rotating body. This body is rotating about this axis Z. So we have to find angular momentum of this rotating body. We'll be using the same principle what we have done in the previous lecture as well. We'll be considering this body to be made up of number of particles. Number of particles, as we have studied, whenever any body rotates, its particles circulates. So this mass m1, which is situated at a distance r1 from axis of rotation, is moving with velocity v1. As it is moving with linear velocity v1, so its linear momentum is p1. Similarly, this object m2, which is situated at a distance r2 from the axis of rotation, its velocity is v2 and its linear momentum is p2. Similarly, this mass m3, which is situated at a distance r3 from the axis of rotation, its velocity is v3 and its linear momentum is p3. Okay, you will see that velocity as well as momentum, linear velocity and linear momentum is directed along the same direction. Similarly, Vn, mass Mn, which is situated at a distance Rn from the axis of rotation, is moving with velocity, linear velocity Vn, and it is having linear momentum as Pn. Okay, so over here we will be finding the angular momentum of each and every masses, and then we will be adding up. So angular momentum of a rotating body is given by this formula, that is L1 plus L2 plus L3. It will go up till Ln. L1 can be represented, linear momentum can be represented as R1 P1. Over here you will see that sine theta's term has vanished. Why sine theta's term has vanished? You will look over here, see over here. Radius vector as well as linear momentum are perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular to each other means what? What is the angle created between both of them? Angle created is 90 degree. And what is sine 90? Sine 90 is 1. So therefore sine term is vanishing. And only we are left with R1 P1 plus R2 P2 plus R3 P3 plus dot 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 Rn Pn. Now Lr. Again, momentum. By Newton's second law, we have seen that momentum, rate of change of momentum, is mass into velocity. So momentum can be represented as m into v. Similarly, over here it can be represented as P1 can be represented as what? M1 V1. Means Lr, total angular momentum of a rotating body, is R1 M1 V1 plus R2 M2 V2 plus R3 M3 V3 plus dot 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 Rn Mn Vn. Now again, velocity. Velocity we have already studied in the previous derivation as well. Velocity or velocity. What is this velocity? This is linear velocity. Linear velocity is radius time angular velocity, but you will find that this object is moving with constant angular velocity. This object is moving with constant angular velocity. So again, we will be substituting V1 as R1 omega. So over here V1 was there. In place of V1, what we are substituting? R1 omega. V2, we are substituting R2 omega. V3, we are substituting as R3 omega. It will go up till nth. So we are Vn. So Vn, what we are substituting as Rn omega. What we can do, we can take omega common, and we can take this inside the bracket R1 M1 R1 plus R2 M2 R2 again, R3 M3 R3 again, plus dot 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 Rn Mn Rn. This whole term can be represented as what? M I R means radius vector R I square. What is Mi Ri square? What is Mi Ri square, which we have seen in the previous lecture as well? Mi Ri square is what? Moment of inertia. So angular momentum is moment of inertia times linear velocity. Angular momentum is what? Moment of inertia times angular velocity. So what we have got, L is equals to I omega. L is what over here? Angular momentum. Angular momentum of whole this rotating body which is rotating is moment of inertia times. I is denoting what? Moment of inertia times. And omega is what? Angular velocity. Okay. Now we will see conservation of angular momentum. What is mean by conservation of angular momentum? Whenever any object is rotating, its angular momentum is conserved. Okay, we will see the statement first of all. Angular momentum of the body remains constant. Its resultant external torque acting on the body is zero. Whenever angular momentum on the body is remaining constant, whenever angular momentum of the body is remaining constant, its external torque acting on the body is said to be zero. You can take, for example, Earth is continuously rotating around the sun. Okay, Earth is continuously rotating, but there is no external force given to the Earth. There is no external force given to the Earth. So Earth is also, conservation of angular momentum is fulfilled whenever the Earth is moving. Because no external force is being provided to the Earth, then also Earth is moving around the sun. Okay, so we will have one derivation. That is, we will consider a particle of mass m, which is rotating with a torque that is tau. Let p vector be the linear momentum of the particle, and r will be the radius position vector. R is what? Position vector. We have seen in the previous slide as well, angular momentum. By definition of angular momentum, what we get? R cross P vector, R cross P vector. You have to remember this. This is R cross P vector, means this is a vector product. So we are not supposed to change the sequence. R is in the starting and P is at the ending. It should be in that manner only, as it is a vector product. Okay. So we will be differentiating from both the sides. So we will be getting dl by dt is equals to d by dt r cross p. Okay. Now we will be using UV rule, U into V rule. In UV rule, what does it states? First of all, we will be differentiating first term. पहले term को differentiate करेंगे du by dt, and we will be keeping this term as it is. In the second interval, what we will be doing? We will be keeping the second term as it is, and we will be differentiating the first term, the second term, sorry. So this was the first term which is differentiated over here. Second term is as it is. In next case, what we have done? We have kept the second term, first term as it is, and we have differentiated the second term. So over here, this is R is a first term and P is a second term. So first term we have kept as it is. Second term we have differentiated. Again, what I have done? I have differentiated. I have kept the second term first as it is, and I have differentiated the first term. Okay, but over here, rate of change of distance with respect to time. Rate of change of distance with respect to time is denoted by what? V bar. Okay, means it is velocity. Rate of change of distance with respect to displacement is velocity, and rate of change of momentum with respect to force. Rate of change of momentum with respect to time, sorry. Rate of change of momentum with respect to time is force, and rate of change of distance with respect to time is called as velocity. So in the above equation, dp by dt can be represented as what? F. ये पूरे को F लिख सकते हैं, और ये पूरे को dr by dt can be represented as V. dr by dt को क्या represent कर सकते हैं? V से. As well as momentum, linear momentum can be represented as what? M into V, mass into velocity. Linear momentum को कैसे represent कर सकते हैं? Mass into velocity. ये टर्म उल्टा हो गया, लेकिन वो उल्टा नहीं करना है, ठीक? It should be as it is. ये जो सीक्वेंस है वो वैसे ही रहना चाहिए. R पहले, ये बाद में. वैसे ये पहले और ये बाद में रहना चाहिए. Now equation 2, if we from this equation 2 what we can write? R वैसे ही आ गया. dp by dt की जगह क्या लिख दिया? F लिख दिया है, प्लस p के जगह क्या लिख सकते हैं? मतलब लीनियर मोमेंटम इज व्हाट? मास इनटू वेलोसिटी. वैसे dr by dt की जगह क्या लिख सकते हैं? V. But over here you will see that A cross A is there, means V cross V is there, V cross V, which we have studied in vector product. The product of similar quantity, the product vector of similar quantity means what? Take for example, this is a V vector. ये कौन सा V vector है? ठीक है, V vector over V vector क्या एंगल मिलता है? यहाँ पे 0 मिलता है. Over here what is the angle being created? It is 0 degree, and sin 0 is what? Sin 0 क्या है? 0. So therefore V square 0, तो ये पूरा टर्म गायब हो जाएगा. This whole term will vanish. अगर यहाँ पे कुछ और रहता, टेक फॉर एग्जाम्पल इट वॉज A क्रॉस B, अगर यहाँ पे A क्रॉस B रहता तो क्या मिलता था? A इंटू बी साइन थीटा मिलता था. A इंटू बी साइन थीटा, तो वहां पे वैनिश नहीं होता था. बट इट इज अ प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द सिमिलर क्वांटिटी. As it is product of the similar quantity, so therefore the angle created between them will be 0. As angle created between them is 0, sin 0 is 0. तो ये पूरा टर्म वैनिश हो गया. अल्टीमेटली क्या मिला? टाउ इज इक्वल्स टू dl by dt is equals to r cross f. dl by dt मतलब रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ लीनियर मोमेंटम is equals to r cross f. r cross f को क्या लिख सकते हैं? टाउ लिख सकते हैं, which we have already derived. ये ऑलरेडी डिराइव कर चुके हैं. So what we get? If the external torque acting on the particle is 0, अगर टॉर्क 0 है, if the external torque, जो भी टॉर्क हम लोग अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, see torque is one type of force only, which I have already explained. जब भी whenever the object we want to push in a straight line, it is a force. But whenever we want to push an object which is already pivoted at a certain point, then we have to apply torque. Now, if the external torque acting on a particle is 0, external torque acting on a particle is zero, then dl by dt is equals to zero. dl by dt is equals to zero. What does it states us? That L is equals to zero. मतलब एंगुलर मोमेंटम जीरो है, यहाँ पे एंगुलर मोमेंटम जीरो है. सो I क्रॉस ओमेगा इज इक्वल्स टू कॉन्स्टेंट. I क्रॉस ओमेगा इज इक्वल्स टू कॉन्स्टेंट. या फिर इससे ये भी रिलेशन प्रूव होता है दैट मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एंगुलर वेलोसिटी. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इज इनवर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एंगुलर वेलोसिटी. मतलब अगर I इंक्रीज होगा तो एंगुलर मोमेंटम, एंगुलर वेलोसिटी क्या हो जाएगा? डिक्रीज हो जाएगा, विच विल बी सीइंग इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ओके, इन दिस केस व्हाट इज हैपनिंग? एंगुलर मोमेंटम इज कंजर्व्ड. एंगुलर मोमेंटम विल ऑलवेज रिमेन्स कंजर्व्ड बिकॉज L इज इक्वल टू कॉन्स्टेंट. L कॉन्स्टेंट है, मतलब क्या चेंज होगा? सिर्फ I ओमेगा चेंज होता जाएगा. I ओमेगा चेंज होता जाएगा. ओके, ओके, I ओमेगा कहां से आया? प्रीवियस डेरिवेशन में किया था. L इज इक्वल्स टू I ओमेगा. फ्रॉम देयर ओनली वी आर टेलिंग दैट dl by dt इज इक्वल्स टू जीरो. सो देयरफॉर L के जगह क्या ले लिया है? I ओमेगा इज इक्वल्स टू कांस्टेंट. Now there are some things which you should be knowing, or where this conservation of angular momentum has been used. It has been used in our day-to-day life. You might have seen ballet dancer dancing, acrobats in the circus as well. Sports like ice skating, diving in the swimming pool, etc. This all uses the principle of conservation of angular momentum. ये सब क्या यूज करते हैं? प्रिंसिपल ऑफ कंजर्वेशन ऑफ एंगुलर मोमेंटम. ये कैसे यूज करते हैं? ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. अभी L क्या है? एंगुलर मोमेंटम. एंगुलर मोमेंटम इज व्हाट? I इंटू ओमेगा. I मतलब क्या? मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया. और ओमेगा क्या है? एंगुलर वेलोसिटी. एंगुलर वेलोसिटी ओमेगा कैन ऑल्सो बी रिप्रेजेंटेड एज 2πn. ओमेगा को कैसे रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं? 2πn. लेकिन इन दोनों से क्या पता चलता है? व्हाट वी सी दैट एंगुलर स्पीड ओमेगा या एंगुलर वेलोसिटी जो भी बोलो, एंगुलर स्पीड एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी. देखो, एंगुलर स्पीड एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी ये दोनों का इनवर्स रिलेशन है विद मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया. ये दोनों का एंगुलर स्पीड एंड फ्रीक्वेंसी ये दोनों का किसके साथ इनवर्स रिलेशन है? मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया से. मतलब अगर स्पीड बढ़ रहा है, इफ द स्पीड विल इंक्रीज देन एक्चुअली फ्रीक्वेंसी विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज. स्पीड अगर बढ़ेगा तो फ्रीक्वेंसी भी बढ़ेगा, तो मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया क्या हो जाएगा? कम हो जाएगा. सिमिलरली अगर मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया बढ़ गया, सोचो कोई ऑब्जेक्ट है, कोई पर्सन है जिन्होंने अपना हाथ को फैला लिया, तो क्या हो जाएगा? ओमेगा स्पीड कम हो जाएगा एज वेल एज फ्रीक्वेंसी भी कम हो जाएगा. ओके, वी विल सी इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इंक्रीजेस, एंगुलर स्पीड एंड हेंस फ्रीक्वेंसी also decreases. देखो, this is the example. You can see this ballet dancer or ice skating. This person or this lady is able to move with a faster speed. यहाँ पे क्या है? इसका मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया क्या है? कम है क्या ज्यादा है? मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया बहुत कम है. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हमने पढ़ा था. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया डिपेंड्स अपॉन व्हाट ऑल फैक्टर्स? डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ द पार्टिकल्स. ओवर हियर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ द पार्टिकल इज वेरी लेस. Distribution of the particle is very less means what? Moment of inertia is very small. Moment of inertia बहुत small है, तो फिर क्या फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ेगा. इसलिए जब ये ऐसे पैटर्न में रहते हैं, वो बहुत जोर से घूमते हैं. We can see this lady moving or circulating with a faster speed. लेकिन ये यहाँ पे क्या है? मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया बहुत ज्यादा है. मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इज क्वाइट ग्रेटर. एज मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया इज ग्रेटर, सो दिस लेडी विल बी मूविंग विथ अ स्लो स्पीड मतलब क्या? फ्रीक्वेंसी भी कम रहेगा. दैट्स व्हाट हैज बीन रिटन. ड्यूरिंग द आइस बैलेट, द डांसर कम्स टुगेदर while taking a round of a smaller radius. In this case, the moment of inertia of this system or their body becomes minimum. इसका moment of inertia क्या हो जाता है? कम हो जाता है. तो इसलिए क्या हो जाता है? फ्रीक्वेंसी बढ़ जाएगा. So therefore she is able to turn with a faster speed. आउटर राउंड ये आउटर राउंड है. यहां पे देखेंगे ये अपना दोनों हैंड एज वेल एज लेग्स को आउटस्ट्रेच कर दिया या फिर बाहर कर दिया. उससे क्या हो गया? मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया बढ़ गया. मतलब क्या? एंगुलर स्पीड और फ्रीक्वेंसी कम हो जाएगा। एंगुलर स्पीड और फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या हो जाएगा? कम हो जाएगा। नेक्स्ट वन, आपने देखा रहेगा स्विमिंग पूल में जब भी डाइवर्स जंप करते हैं, जंप करने से पहले क्या करते हैं? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दे while on the diving board the driver stretches their body। डाइवर क्या करते हैं? सबसे पहले अपना बॉडी को स्ट्रेच करते हैं। स्ट्रेच क्यों करते हैं? इन ऑर्डर टू इंक्रीज द मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया। व्हाई डू दे स्ट्रेच? इन ऑर्डर टू इंक्रीज द मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया। इमीडिएटली आफ्टर लीविंग द बोर्ड, एज सुन एज दे लीव देयर बोर्ड, दे फोल्ड देयर बॉडी। वो क्या करते हैं? अपने बॉडी को फोल्ड कर लेते हैं। ड्यू टू फोल्डिंग व्हाट हैपेंस? देयर मोमेंट ऑफ इनर्शिया डिक्रीजेस। Moment of inertia decreases, so therefore their frequency increases. Therefore their frequency increases, so they complete more amount of rounds in air. और एक बार बताता हूं, as soon as they leave the board, they stretch their body। वो क्या करते हैं? अपने बॉडी को स्ट्रेच कर देते हैं in order to increase the moment of inertia. And just before leaving the board, they fold their body. They fold their body. Why do they fold their body? After folding, what happens? Means moment of inertia decreases. As moment of inertia decreases, what will happen? Frequency will increase as well as angular speed will also increase. So therefore they can complete more rounds in air. इसलिए शो बहुत अट्रैक्टिव लगता है। In order to make the show more attractive, they do that. Again, while entering the water, फिर से जब भी पानी के अंदर एंटर करते हैं, their body structure is in the form of a straight line in order to get inside the water smoothly, or their shape is a streamline. This allows them to enter the water in a smooth manner. Thank you.